budget cuts to Sacramento. The Supreme Court revisits affirmative action. Super Tuesday, the Arcadia edition, and is obesity linked to asthma? CCN Weather and the Tech Byte next on CCN Crown City News. Your news, your neighborhood, seconds away.
Do you have a great business idea? The Pasadena Enterprise Zone can help. The Pasadena Enterprise Zone, open for business.
Hi, I'm Jesse Avila at the Convalescent Aid Society, a nonprofit organization established in 1923. We provide the free loan of durable medical equipment, of hospital beds, wheelchairs, walkers, canes, and many other items. Your donations and contributions are welcome and greatly appreciated. We are located at 3255 East Foothill Boulevard in Pasadena.
We're here to help you!
Please give us a call and check for availability at 626-793-1696.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching CCN Crown City News. Your news, your neighborhood. I'm Sehnita Joshua Mattison. Our top story. The Occupy movements took over California community colleges this past Thursday to protest budget cuts. In what some are calling Occupy education, many students, teachers, and parents, including some right here in Pasadena, called for a day of statewide action as they headed to Sacramento today, Monday, March 5th. CCN's Natalie Tavidian joins us live with this story. Now, Natalie, many of the students are taking these cuts really hard.
They really are, Sehnita, and most of the students we spoke with said they have waited on waiting lists for almost all of their classes to get into one of these classes. Students at PCC say the school has cut more than 650 classes over the last 4 years. One student, Winifred, told me he needed a certain number of classes to maintain his financial aid. But because of the class cuts, he actually had to take a piano class, which he said had nothing to do with his major. The Occupy education protesters have a list of demands including fair student representation on PCC committees and restoring classes to the 2008 levels. PCC students and many others across California rallied today in Sacramento, asking lawmakers to raise taxes for education. But not everyone thinks that's a good idea. After administrators locked students out of the Board of Trustees meeting Tuesday, some Pasadena City College students decided to march in March. Thursday, March 1st, Occupy education protesters rallied during a statewide day of action, protesting, in their words, to save education.
The one class that I got in that I needed, the English class, they drew my name out of a hat, out of 15 people that were trying to add it. The reason we're out here today is because the American dream is threatened. We can't go to college, and everyone says you can't go to college, you can't get a degree, you don't make as much money, you're not as successful in life, you can't make a difference in the world.
Andrew Bott is among hundreds of PCC students and many others across the state heading to Sacramento Monday, March 5th. They plan on telling lawmakers to raise taxes for education. But local tax expert Harris Hall says that's not the answer and that voters won't go for it.
California already has among the highest taxes in the country. It's losing businesses and high-income workers all the time. It has a steeply progressive income tax. And partly that is what's contributing to the budget problem.
Protesters at PCC say their list of demands includes lower fees and better budget choices from administrators.
Getting more funding from the state would definitely make a difference, but managing the budget here at PCC is something we can do right away. Right away, we can change, move the budget around so that it's benefiting the students and classes more than it is administration officials, high salaries. I heard a quote today about the PCC police chief makes more money than most teachers that are going to school that are working here. How does that make sense?
Hall says schools are struggling to meet their budgets, raising costs and cutting classes, partly because of government involvement.
The only real item that's gone up faster than medical care is education. So you have to ask yourself, why is the cost of education rising so much faster than inflation? And why has that happened for 20 years? I think the answer is not obvious, but it's government involvement. And what's happened is the government keeps subsidizing people through Pell Grants and a whole manner of things to get an education. But what that does is that artificially increases demand for education. People who couldn't afford an education before now are getting one care of the taxpayer or care of subsidized loans or something. And so if you don't massively increase the supply and you increase the demand, the price is going to go up. It keeps putting the cost of education out of reach of middle-class families.
PCC students say hundreds were turned away at the last Board of Trustees meeting. They say their voices on campus are not being heard. Some say administrators have thrown a few cookies at them, such as a special 12-week Spring Forward intercession. But they say that only helps a couple hundred students on a list to graduate that need these classes to pass. And most of these classes are online. Students say they will show up again and voice their concerns. We spoke with some campus officials that say funding is needed by the state and that more bad news is on the way. Administrators aren't just cutting classes, also utilities and continuing the current hiring freeze. Sehnita, these PCC cuts are to take place by June.
Wow, I think both sides would agree. This is kind of a nightmare situation going on.
It really is.
Well, thanks for that report, Natalie. The next PCC Board of Trustees meeting takes place Wednesday, March 7th. In other education news, the Supreme Court is preparing itself for another affirmative action case. This time it involves a student in Texas. The decision may impact students in California trying to attend out-of-state schools that still allow race-based admissions. CCN's Lily Nuno, who's usually behind the scenes producing the newscast, joins us live with more on this thorny issue. Nice to have you here, Lily.
Thank you.
Well, so tell us, did you find a lot of the local students worried about this, even though it's in Texas?
Yes, students in Pasadena are very concerned, and not just in Pasadena, but across the nation. Well, this long-running debate has been on California's radar since 1978, and most notably in 1996, when Proposition 209 banned the use of affirmative action in the Cal State and UC school systems. In October, Texas student Abigail Fisher will challenge the University of Texas in a Supreme Court case on grounds of not being admitted into the school of her choice because of her race, Caucasian. The Supreme Court decision could affect some local students leaving California for an out-of-state education.
Some minority students with low grades may have trouble attending the college of their choice if the U.S. Supreme Court sides in favor of Texas student Abigail Fisher this fall. Fisher says she faced discrimination since minority students were accepted into the University of Texas and she was not, even though her grades were the same as theirs. One local college student says he remains in favor of affirmative action.
I think affirmative action is still something that offers great help for many students like myself and other students like me. And moving forward, one day, really truly look at students just on the basis of their academic merits. But I think right now, I don't know if right now is exactly that time in our society.
On the basis of academic merit is exactly how Cal Poly Pomona graduate Yolanda Mitchell-Brown says she'd like to see students admitted. Brown says too many young people are dependent on entitlements.
Well, I support the students in Texas. I don't think affirmative action is fair. I think that if you have the grades and you put in the work, then you should be judged on that merit alone and not race or religion or anything else.
The stats are at times conflicting, but some academics say because California passed Proposition 209 in 1996, the UC's and Cal State school systems have seen a dramatic decline in minority students. Affirmative action activist Maria Cruz Lopez says that's one reason she keeps fighting.
The ban on affirmative action in California and Michigan and anywhere is solely an attempt to resegregate the universities across the country, and I don't think that students across the country are going to let that happen. Students are going to fight, and I think we will force the court to see that the conservative thing for them to do is actually to vote to keep affirmative action in Texas and to reinstate it in places where it has been banned.
But we are in 2012. People need to get real. We have a generation that's lazy. They don't want to put the work in. You can get into any school that you wish if you put the work in. And
Well, some students who may be impacted by the Fisher versus Texas case say they're keeping in mind that the Supreme Court has more conservative judges who may be opposed to affirmative action. The case goes before the judges in October, and a verdict is expected in June of 2013. Sehnita, back to you.
Well, I know we're going to hear a lot about this in the next year and a half, so thanks for that, Lily. Good to have you here.
You're welcome.
Well, this could have a big impact on local students looking to attend Texas school, so we'll certainly keep you updated on this story. Now, Super Tuesday for the GOP primaries takes place tomorrow, March 6th, but the San Gabriel Valley is preparing for a Super Tuesday of its own. Meet the candidates in one SGV city. When we come back, you're watching CCN Crown City News, your neighborhood. Don't go away.
The CCN Energy Saver is brought to you by Southern California Edison.
Hi, I'm Luna Petty with your CCN Energy Saver. I'm here with Southern California Edison's Dave Ford. Dave, can customers really save money on the compact fluorescent bulbs?
Well, Luna, first of all, I want to let you know how it's a pleasure to see you again. And of course, they can save money when they're using Energy Star rated type of lamps or any other type of product that is Energy Star rating. What I have to show you today is an incandescent lamp as well as a compact fluorescent. This is an incandescent. This lamp here is a compact fluorescent. This lamp will save, comparing an incandescent to a compact fluorescent, it'll save energy. It lasts twice, 3 or 4 times the amount of hours of usage, and it doesn't put out as much heat. And it's definitely going to be a good product for customers to use when they're considering changing out lighting in their home to more energy efficient lamps.
Well, thank you for that information, Dave. Hopefully customers find it helpful. This has been Luna Petty with your CCN Energy Saver.
The CCN Energy Saver is brought to you by Southern California Edison.
It's Super Tuesday Eve this primary season for GOP hopefuls trying to clinch the Republican nomination. Mitt, Rick, Newt, and Ron have been crisscrossing the country trying to get the 1,144 delegates they'll need to become the GOP candidates for the November presidential election. But it's John, Henry, Gary, Mary, and Sho who will be meeting with the public this week as they run for the 2 city council seats in Arcadia in the April elections. CCN's Paulo Alejandro joins us now live with more. Now, Paulo, 5 candidates, 2 seats available, and they're going to sprint to the finish line. Tell us more.
That's right. It's just a wide and varied candidate pool, but it should make for a very interesting race.
Great to hear.
Campaign season is in full swing in the San Gabriel Valley as Arcadia's city council race heats up. It's a wild game of musical chairs in this compelling race as 5 very different candidates try to fill in 2 available seats. Given the country's current political climate and the concerns many Americans have, the results of this local election could have big implications for the city of Arcadia and its future.
The San Gabriel Valley is gearing up for its own version of Super Tuesday in April, with several cities holding elections. In Arcadia, 5 candidates with very different points of view are competing for 2 seats.
I ask a lot of questions. I ask questions to be sure that alternatives have been explored.
Now is not the time for radical changes. It's the time to basically not mess with success. This has been a very successfully run city.
Current Mayor Gary Kovacic is seeking his 2nd term as council member. Also running is former Mayor John Wu, local businessman and last year's Arcadia Citizen of the Year, Sho Tae, Mary Daltrey, president of the Santa Anita Oaks Homeowners Association, and the self-styled anti-politician, real estate developer Henry Nunez.
I'm not a politician, and I just don't have the heart to go out and raise $40,000 or $50,000 so I could mail 5 or 7 pieces. I haven't done that. I just don't have the heart for it. I am a grassroots campaigner.
2 sides are becoming clear in this race. Those who want to see commercial expansion for jobs and revenue, and those with a deep desire to keep a sense of neighborhood and community.
The balance of the budget is important to me. So by creating more business, you can create more sales tax. See, we are not a business-friendly city. Everybody knows that.
I'm a tradition guy, so I want to keep Arcadia tradition here. Arcadia traditions are rooted in, community, education, and family, and quality of life.
There will be no polls open for the April elections. Arcadians voting in this year's city elections will do so completely by mail-in ballot. Mayor Kovacic says this action was taken because studies show that an all-mail ballot increases participation and costs less. City Council candidate Mary Doherty added there is more integrity to the true vote count because added security measures like signature matching will be put into place. The mail-in ballots will be mailed in to all registered voters March 12th and should be mailed in and received no later than April 10th. Sehnita, back to you.
Thanks for that, Paulo. And I wonder if these mail-ins is the direction the rest of the country will follow eventually as well. We'll have to see.
That's an experiment they're willing to take in Arcadia.
All right. Well, you'll get a chance to get out there and meet the candidates during a free forum Wednesday night, March 7th at 7 p.m. at the Arcadia Public Library. They only have room for 175 people, though, so if you want a seat, then you'll have to get there early. Well, has spring really arrived? Last week was downright chilly, but then this weekend, boy, it got hot out there. We're getting it all, and will it stay warm for good? CCN's meteorologist Curtis Peak is here live with the answer. Hi, Curtis, what do you have for us?
Well, listen, let me tell you what's happening. Last week I was saying, baby, it's cold outside. This week I'm saying, baby, it's hot outside. And you know what? It's going to last through this afternoon. Yesterday, we saw temperatures being broken in Long Beach hitting 91 degrees, downtown Los Angeles checking in at 81 degrees. And today, we did see temperatures in the low 70s, upper 80s here in Pasadena in the San Gabriel Valley. So this is the type of weather I call the yo-yo weather. And what we're going to have tomorrow, we are going to see another cold day. Heat, cold, yo-yo weather. Let's take a look at our satellite radar right here. As you can see, we have a coastal eddy sitting right here. That's just a little whirlwind of low pressure that's going to sit here tonight. It's going to give us these whispery clouds overhead that we saw today into the night. But here is our cold front right here. This is our jet stream that's coming down right across here. This is that low that's sitting here. Usually we see our weather make its way down the coast, giving us that onshore flow. But right here, we are going to see this low. It's going to make its way right now the spine of the state. Inside meteorology, that's what we call an inside slider. It is going to pick up a little moisture. I will say we're going to get a little drizzle out of this. You'll see in my 7-day forecast, I'm talking about 20% chance. I think it's going to be more of a drizzle. All right, let's take a look at our almanac right now. As we can see, I say low pressure is going to return. That's going to return overnight. But what we're going to see with that low pressure, we are going to see tomorrow night, winds gusts up to 60 to 65 miles an hour. The National Weather Service is going to issue wind advisory. So if you are driving high-profile vehicles through the Grapevine or through the 14, please be very, very careful because it's going to get very windy. But we are going to have a warm and dry weekend. That yo-yo comes back. We are going to have a warm weekend again. The high today was 79 degrees. Our low, 53 degrees. We are 10 degrees above where we should be. Back in 1972, we did see a record high of 92 degrees. Outside right now, we are looking at 72 degrees. Our sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:15. Our sunset at 5:53. Now, this is interesting right here because we have winds right now out of the southeast at 1 mile per hour. And I'm talking about winds that are going to pick up tomorrow. You know, gusts 60 to 65 degrees, 60 to 65 miles per hour. So look, we're seeing a 64 to 59 increase in those winds over the next 24 hours. Our lows for tonight, we are going to see 49 in Arcadia. Monrovia is checking in at 52 along with El Monte and West Covina and Monterey Park. Pasadena, your overnight low is going to be 56. Our highs for tomorrow, Pasadena, you are going to see 61 degrees and Monrovia is going to come in at 57 degrees. Here's our 7-day forecast right now. Here is that chance of drizzle I was talking about. 61 degrees, 20% chance of drizzle, but by Wednesday, those clouds do move out. Thursday, that ridge of high pressure does move back in. Friday, we are seeing that yo-yo again. We are going to warm up. Saturday, back down again, 70 on Saturday. Look at Monday, 68 degrees. So we are in full effect with the yo-yo weather we are having, but it will stabilize once we do get more into spring, and we will have that spring-like weather, and then we'll probably see a few April showers. But, you know, this is the weather we are expecting right now in the San Gabriel Valley.
All right, you know, I'll take the yo-yo as long as my weekends are warm. So
I
thanks
agree.
for that, Curtis. Well, waistlines seem to be growing, and for many kids, obesity seems to be creating even more problems. A new study shows a link between obesity and another illness. You won't want to miss this. Next on CCN Crown City News. Your news, your neighborhood. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Lori Webster. I'm the owner of Webster's Fine Stationers.
Hi, I'm Scott Webster.
You need to come and check us out because we've got great gifts for everybody in the family.
We have Fine Stationers by Cranes and Company.
We have some beautiful greeting cards, things that are unique.
A myriad of other things, so please come by.
And our phone number is area code 626-797-1135. And we're located at 2450 North Lake Avenue, Suite B in Altadena. Our motto is, let's do something good today.
If your child is getting behind in school and needs help organizing, reading, writing, or studying, Klein's Classes can help. Audrey Klein has been teaching for more than 20 years. Her book, Skills for Student Success, can teach your child essential learning tools. Klein's Classes are affordable and conveniently available online. You can view the lessons and educational films anytime.
I've seen children jump 2 reading levels in 1 year. I've proven it over and over again.
Don't let another semester pass without getting your child some help. Visit kleinsclasses.com and get started today. Unleash your inner shark. Sharky Zartman's book, Shark Sense, reveals the 14 life-changing steps you can take today to start reaching your goals. Through her witty yet no-nonsense approach, Sharky Zartman unlocks the lessons we can all learn from sharks.
I use the shark as a symbol for your inner source of strength and power, the part of you that doesn't know the meaning of the word can't.
Stop settling for less and start living with confidence and purpose. Order Shark Sense today at sharksense.org and get in touch with your inner shark.
Rising obesity rates in children can bring about a host of other problems. Asthma may be one of them. In one online issue of the journal Obesity, Kaiser Permanente of Southern California published an article that linked childhood obesity with the development of asthma. CCN's TK Trinidad is here live with more on this story. TK, now this is very interesting. Now, you were a personal trainer to obese children and adults. Yes. Why is this study so important?
It's important because you just want to see the link of what's happening and the fact that the obesity is rising. It's something that we should all look towards. This is a very interesting study. It's another reason why people should watch their weight and get some type of physical activity on a daily basis. Researchers say overweight or obese youth with asthma make more trips to the doctor or emergency room and that they tend to use more asthma medications. A new Kaiser Permanente Southern California study has found that youth who are overweight or obese are more likely to have asthma. Researchers conducted the study with 681,000 children between the ages of 6 and 19.
Previous investigations have looked at some of these associations with body weight and asthma in children and have had conflicting findings. Mm-hmm. And so we wanted to examine those things, and we also wanted to take a greater in-depth look at, for example, the effect of body weight in specific racial and ethnic groups to see how that might vary.
Kaiser Permanente's Dr. Mary Black says researchers gathered body mass index, or BMI, height, weight, asthma diagnosis, and prescribed asthma medication prescriptions for youth in the Kaiser Permanente Southern California Integrated Health Plan from 2007 to 2009 through electronic health records.
There is a relationship between just being overweight and having asthma. We also showed that there is an increasing trend in body weight that is associated with the increasing chance of having asthma.
The study includes children and teens from different racial backgrounds and showed that asthma is fairly common in 18% of them, which means an increasing number of kids need to use an inhaler.
Very, very large studies that have tracked this kind of thing on a population level, like the NHANES study, have shown a small but increasing prevalence of asthma over the last few years.
Researchers found that overweight or obese youth with asthma used more inhalers or oral corticosteroids, and other studies suggest there's a link between these medications and type 2 diabetes.
In addition to the varying effect of body weight within racial ethnic groups, among children with asthma, increasing body weight was associated with increased corticosteroid use. And oral corticosteroid use has been shown to also increase the risk of type 2 diabetes development.
Researchers also found that the association between BMI and asthma is weaker in African Americans and strongest in Hispanics. Dr. Black says parents can help prevent the asthma-obesity link.
If parents have a child at home who is overweight or obese and begins to show any signs of asthma, I think it's important to act on that immediately. Take the child to the healthcare provider and have the child evaluated for asthma. The higher the body weight, the greater the risk.
Researchers say they studied a large and diverse population representative of Southern California of 5 racial and ethnic groups. They concluded there's a relationship to being overweight and having asthma and increasing body weight and the chances of getting asthma. The Children's Health Study also found that extreme obesity between the ages of 2 to 19 were found in 7% of boys and 6% of girls. Sehnita, back to you.
Wow, as young as 2. Thanks for that report, TK. There's another reason to work out. This Children's Health Study also found that obese or overweight children had a higher prevalence of psoriasis, a chronic inflammatory disease of the skin. For more information in this and other studies, you can go to www.kp.org/research. Well, what's going to be hotter than the iPad 2? Grant D has the answer in the CCN Tech Byte when we return. You're watching CCN Crown City News, your neighborhood.
Do you have unpaid traffic tickets? Has your license been suspended for months or even years? One visit to Ticket Relief can reinstate your license, often in less than 30 minutes. We'll also roll back the penalties and late fees on your traffic tickets and get you more time to pay the original fee. It's no wonder newspapers are calling Ticket Relief a sigh of relief for motorists. Get your license back today. Call us at 213-272-2826 or visit us online at californiaticketrelief.org. Unleash your inner shark. Sharky Zartman's book, Shark Sense, reveals the 14 life-changing steps you can take today to start reaching your goals. Through her witty yet no-nonsense approach, Sharky Zartman unlocks the lessons we can all learn from sharks.
I use the shark as a symbol for your inner source of strength and power, the part of you that doesn't know the meaning of the word can't.
Stop settling for less and start living with confidence and purpose. Order Shark Sense today at sharksense.org and get in touch with your inner shark. If your child is getting behind in school and needs help organizing, reading, writing, or studying, Klein's classes can help. Audrey Klein has been teaching for more than 20 years. Her book, Skills for Student Success, can teach your child essential learning tools. Klein's classes are affordable and conveniently available online. You can view the lessons and educational films anytime.
I've seen children jump 2 reading levels in 1 year. I've proven it over and over again.
Don't let another semester pass without getting your child some help. Visit kleinsclasses.com and get started today.
CCN's Grant D is here to let us know what's new in the tech world this week on the CCN Tech Byte. Okay, Grant, who's it going to be? Is it going to be Apple, Google, Facebook?
We have Apple this week, Sehnita, with a big announcement expected Wednesday, and they are topping the headlines this week in the CCN Tech Byte, and Apple is expected to make that big announcement on Wednesday, March 7th in San Francisco. Tech experts say Apple will officially reveal the next-generation iPad 3. Well, not much is known about the device. Some say it might have a better processor, camera, display, and other items as well. This announcement by Apple comes less than 1 year after the iPad 2 was announced last spring, and we will, of course, keep you updated on what Apple announces right here on the CCN Tech Byte. And also this week, some big news coming out of Barcelona, Spain, where the yearly Mobile World Congress show is happening. This event showcases the latest services, phones, tablets, and software out of the world of mobile technology. Topping the headlines from this week at the Mobile World Congress include a new agreement from smartphone maker HTC with online storage service Dropbox, a new brand for HTC smartphones, as well as new rumors on when Samsung's edge-to-edge screened Galaxy S3 will come out. And that's what's making news in the world of technology this week, of course. Lots of stuff happening this upcoming week, and we will, of course, keep you updated. Sehnita.
I know you will, Grant. Thank you for that.
You bet.
Well, that's it for this newscast. We have a full newscast with a lot of reporters and great stories, so it's great to have them here. Thanks to all of our sponsors, including Southern California Edison, Wink Marketing, and the Pasadena Enterprise Center office building with available space. Thanks also to the CCN crew. They make this show possible. But finally, we thank you for watching CCN Crown City News. Join us each week as we cover the news in Pasadena and the San Gabriel Valley. For all of us here at CCN, I'm Sehnita Joshua Mattison. Have a great week.
Hi, I'm Jesse Avila at the Convalescent Aid Society.